Hey guys, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing the opportunities and the risks of being a loan officer. So if you're looking to come into the business or you want an insight as to what it's like being a loan officer, what you're risking, because a lot of emails I get, a lot of messages like, hey Enrique, I'm a single mom, I'm a single parent, or I've been doing this career for 20 years and I'm thinking about being a loan officer. So I wanted to make this video for you guys, breaking things down as much as possible as to what the opportunities are and what the risks are to becoming a mortgage loan officer. So if that sounds interesting, make sure you stay to the end of this video. I promise you it's going to be super insightful. Without further ado, let's get started. All right, so starting with the opportunities, number one is going to be that it's very, very inexpensive to actually become a loan officer. Now, I don't have the numbers right in front of me, so I'm not going to be able to give you an exact number of how much it actually costs to become a loan officer, but I can easily say it's less than $500 or $600, which is fantastic because if you think of other careers, you guys, doctors, going to college, 1 year in college is $40,000. I went to UCSB. And I remember my tuition was anywhere from $36,000 to $40,000 a year. And I went there for 4 years. So $500, $600 is super, super, super inexpensive for a great career. And that's really a beautiful opportunity because I know some of you guys, are in a place where you don't have $10,000, you don't have $40,000 to go to college. Even that, you don't have the time to go back to college. Right? College is 4 years. If you have kids, if you have a family, if you got 5 kids, 10 kids, I don't know, right? And on top of that, you can finish the courses in less than a week, you guys. It's 7 to 14 days. You can finish the entire course, the entire pre-licensing education. And by the way, I have partnered up with OnCourse. They're one of the leading loan officer pre-licensing education platforms out there. They helped me get my license. They are offering the Enrique and Greatness family 20% off your purchase. So make sure you take advantage of that offer. I'll have the link down below. Check it out, you guys. And like I said, it is online, it's virtual, so you can do it from anywhere. You can do it right from your computer at work, when you're at your lunch, when you're putting the kids to bed, whatever. So that's another great thing. You don't have to go anywhere in person because like I said, I know a lot of you guys are very busy. So make sure you check out OnCourse, again, link down below. All right, number two is unlimited income potential. This is a beautiful opportunity as well because you can make as much money as you want to make. It's not like a 9-to-5 job where you show up, you work your butt off, and then you get hit with the same paycheck that you got paid last week when you didn't work your butt off. It's nothing like that. In this business, you can work super hard and make a lot of money. You can work even harder and make even more money. And by the way, so you guys have an idea of how the compensation works for loan officers, most loan officers are going to be just commission, meaning you'll only get paid if you close a deal, and loan officers get paid off of the loan amount. So let's say the loan amount is $500,000. The typical loan officer makes anywhere from 1% to 2% of that. So they'll make $5,000 or $10,000 on that deal, which is different than real estate agents, which is also a great career because real estate agents get paid off of the price point. So if the home is selling for $1 million, the real estate agent gets paid off of that $1 million, anywhere from 2 to 6%. And my best month yet, I did roughly $2 million in sales and loan amount. That's a $20,000 to $40,000 commission in 1 month. All right, number three is you're helping people. And you're helping them in one of the biggest transactions that they will ever make in their entire lives. When else is someone gonna buy $1 million thing? Right? Selling chocolates, selling candies, selling cameras, whatever, nothing against those things. But you're really helping someone in buying the biggest, most important things in their entire lives. And not just that, it's not just a big investment, it's a home. It's somewhere where their kids are gonna grow up. It's somewhere where, their kids are gonna come back to school, they're gonna study, they're gonna have all those experiences, they're gonna have the baby showers, they're gonna have the birthdays, all those things, right? And they really appreciate you for that, right? It's a big responsibility. And again, that's why we get paid all this money, because it's a big responsibility. We're helping people in the biggest way possible. All right, number four, kind of leading into what I just said, is you make friends, you guys. You're helping these people in a tremendous way do, one of the biggest transactions of their life, do something beautiful for their family, and you're going to make friends from all walks of life. I'm just 25 years old and it's fantastic, it's beautiful. The amount of friends I have, the amount of people I've met in the industry, but not just in the industry, my clients. I have clients that are bakers, security guards, veterans, in the Army, attorneys, insurance agents, property managers. I mean, the plumbers, electricians, body shop repair, all these things. And it's a great thing because it's like, if I ever need anything, I can just hit up my good friend, Bob or Joe. Hey, Joe, Joe the plumber. Hey, Joe, something's going on in my house. Any recommendations, anything you can help me with? Oh, yeah, I got you. We're friends. So, it's really a beautiful thing when you can have all these kinds of friends from all these different walks of life. Again, not just in the industry, but your clients. So it's just a great thing, you guys. That's another beautiful thing about this business. Not that you can't do that in other businesses, but it's really a business where you're meeting, people from all different walks of life with all different careers and different businesses. All right, number 5 opportunity is the knowledge you'll have, you guys, because one of the most powerful investments on the planet is real estate. And you just so happen to be in a business that helps people get real estate, right? Most people are not going to buy real estate with cash. And even the ones that do still get a loan, right? The biggest guys out there buying, billion-dollar buildings, they still get loans most of the time. At least I think they do. But the point is, you're in a business where you have the knowledge to help people get that most precious thing, real estate, land, property, multi-units, commercial units, whatever. Right? Because, I have family members, I'm sure you have family members that are like, oh, I want to buy real estate, but they have no idea how to get it. And this is one thing I learned from a wise man in my life is if you can speak the language of mortgages and real estate, you can talk to anyone. Because everyone on this planet is interested in mortgage and real estate. All right, number 6 is the time and the freedom. Of course, you have to be out there producing. Don't think that you're just going to be on vacation 24/7. But it really is another, great thing that you can be like, Monday, I want to go to Disneyland. Tuesday, I want to go to Universal Studios. I mean, we forget, I know I forget sometimes, not too many careers you can do that. I know a lot of careers today, or at least some of them, are virtual, but even yet, you can't just be like, I'm going to Disneyland tomorrow. You can't just do that. And in this career, you can do that. You can pick up your kids from school. You can pick them up from practice. You can go to the soccer games. You can go to this. You can go to that. Of course, like I said, that's going to come at a price. You're also going to have to work extra days. You're also going to have to work weekends. I'm recording this film on a Sunday. I could be with family. I could be at a barbecue. I could be at the club. I could be XYZ, but I'm out here working. So don't just think that because there is this freedom factor and time and stuff that you guys aren't going to maybe miss some games. You are going to miss some games. But we'll talk about that later, right? Those are one of the cons or risks of being a loan officer. But I'm pretty sure I can close deals, in Canada, in Miami, in Italy, in France, in Greece, because all I need is a computer. That's all I need. That's all you need. So you can work virtually. You can, have your own time, create your own schedule. So that's a great, great opportunity about this business. All right, number 7 opportunity is that this is your own business that you're going to create, you guys. So you can build it how you want to build it. If you want to prospect, on TikTok and just TikTok, great. That's all you got to do. No one's going to tell you what to do because it's your business. So that's great because you can build it how you want it. Of course, people can give you advice and they can tell you, try this worked for me. But ultimately, it's up to you. You're going to build your own sandcastle. You're going to build your own, empire, which is great, because I know some people prefer that. Some people, they're like, hey, I want to do it my way. And that's great. This is a business where you can do it your way. You don't want to work on Sundays. Fantastic. You can do that. It's your business. You only want to prospect doing this. Fantastic. You want to, design everything in pink. You can do that. It's your business. You want to have your business cards in pink. It's your business. All right. So now that we talked about a few of the opportunities, let's go ahead and jump into the risks. Now, before we do that, understand that these are just generalities. There's much more opportunities I'm sure that I missed. There's much more risks I'm sure that I missed. But these are just some general things to give you guys an idea, or else we'd be here forever. So let's go ahead and hop into the second part of this video, which are the risks to being a loan officer. All right, number 1 is that the test is very difficult. Don't think that it's an easy test. A lot of people do not pass on their first try. I remember, this is a funny story. It's a real story. I don't even believe it. When I was going to take the test, some guy was doing yoga outside of the test center because he was so nervous. He was literally doing yoga. I was like, dude, should I be doing yoga too? Because this guy's like freaking out doing yoga poses and relaxing and breathing exercises. I'm like, this must be a tough test. And it was a tough test, you guys. In terms of a comparison, other tests like the real estate agent. The real estate agent test I took, super easy. I walked out of there, I was like, dude, I know I passed that thing. I was like, bro, $1 billion I passed it. And the loan officer, I was like, dude, I do not know if I passed this thing. So it's a tough test. Check out my video, how to pass your test on your first try. Also, again, make sure you check out On Course. They have this product where they help you with test prep and all these things to make sure you pass the exam. So again, 20% off for the Enrique and Greatness family, link down below. Make sure you check them out. They helped me pass my test, so they're an amazing company. Make sure you check them out. All right, number 2 risk is that 80% of new loan officers do not make it. That's crazy. And it's a real number, you guys. I'm gonna give you an example right now. When I just started being a loan officer at my company, there were about 10 new loan officers. Of those 10 new loan officers, I think only like 1 or 2 of us are still in the business. Even for me, it's tough. I know people in watching my videos, it can seem like, dude, Enrique's a great loan officer. He's kicking butt. He's doing great. It's so easy for him. Guys, it's ugly for me. Don't think it's easy for me. Just because I make these videos, it's ugly. Yes, it gets easy, but it's rough. And that's why I make these videos for you guys, because I want it to be easy for you guys, or at least easier than it was for me. All right, number 3 risk or number 3 con is that there's a lot to learn and there's very little training. Think about that. There's a lot to learn, that much, and they teach you, or there's this much training. And by the way, this is the reason that 80% of loan officers fail, because there's so much to learn in this business. You got to learn about credit, income, assets, loans, economy, the Fed, politics, rates, what's going on overseas, X, Y, Z, guidelines, loans, Fannie, Freddie, Bobby, Jean, Jane, all these things, and you get that much training. So what you got to do in order to succeed as a loan officer is be someone that's willing to go out there and get the data, get the information. Whenever in my life and whenever in my business it's going rough, it's going tough, I don't quit. I don't do drugs. I don't go to the club. I don't go to the bar. I don't take a shot. What I do is I reach for data. I reach for knowledge. I reach for training, because those things solve problems. Drugs don't solve problems, you guys. Taking a shot is not going to solve your problem with the client. It's just impossible. You need training, you need tools, you need training. I'm stressing this point here because, like I said, this is the main point on why 80% of loan officers fail. You're gonna have to spend weekends, spend thousands of hours learning income, credit, debt, taxes, blah, 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 blah. So are you willing to do that? You gotta ask yourself. If you're not, it's gonna be tough. All right, number 4 is that deals are scary. Deals are scary. Whenever I open escrow, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm scared. Billion things can go wrong, and guess whose fault it is? The loan officer. Anything goes wrong in the escrow, in a deal, it affects the loan, and so who do they put their finger at? The loan officer. You gotta be a diamond. Diamonds handle pressure. How do they handle pressure? Because they're so tough. You gotta be able to withstand heavy, hot pressure. All right, number 5 is that it's a business. What do I mean by this? It's a business. I know we talked about it earlier that it's an opportunity, you can build it, blah, blah, blah. But here I'm talking about it's a business, so you gotta treat it like a business. You gotta prospect. You gotta be the CEO. You gotta be the plumber. You gotta be the janitor for a business, right? A business has all these things. Think of a bakery. A bakery has a cashier. They have the baker. They have the janitor. They have the person cleaning the toilets. And in this case, you got to be all those things. And if you're not willing to be all those things, your business is not going to succeed. It's nice to be the boss, but being a boss is not easy, you guys. It's not easy. Not only do you have to cut the checks, you got to spend the extra hours. I'm spending the extra hours right now. Swear to you, I could have been in Hawaii right now. I could have been in Miami. I could have been in Greece. I want to go to Greece, but I gotta do this, you guys. I gotta help you guys out. I gotta build my business. All right. So it's gonna be the same for you. You're gonna be building a business. You're gonna have to, clean the toilets, whatever. You know what I mean? So you're building a business. So you have to be able and willing to be every single part of those hats in a business. So keep this in mind. All right. Number 6 is that there's no guaranteed pay. It's commission. At least for most people, it's gonna be commission. We talked about it earlier. It's commission. It's great. You can make a lot of money. You can also make zero money. There's loan officers I know that have been in the business for maybe 2 years now and haven't closed a deal. You can be in this business for 6 months, a year, and still not close a deal. You can close a deal your first day. You can close a deal your first month, but you could also close a deal, 2 years later. Yes, It's up to you to make things work. It's up to you to go out there and get those deals, but you can be going out there for months and still not get anything in return. You know, for you and your finances, be like, okay, can I take that kind of risk right now? Can I leave my full-time, can I leave my part-time job and go out there and just be a loan officer? I personally would not recommend it for most people, or I mean for anyone, because like I said, if you go 6 months, I mean, you got a family, you got rent, you got a mortgage, and you go 6 months or a year without closing a deal, I mean, that's pretty bad. Here, what I would just recommend, my opinion, is, you know, continue doing what you're doing, you know, whatever career you have, full-time, part-time, whatever you got going on, and then just be a loan officer on the side, you guys. You know, and little by little, as that business starts building up, maybe you have 2 jobs, maybe let go of one once the loan officer business starts going up. And then once it's exploding, then maybe keep that job or, you know, let go of it.